Hi, my name is Steph Goertz, and I'm running for Ward for Councillor in Wilmot Township. 50 by 30 sent some questions to us. One of which was, if elected, what would I do to help our municipality reach our greenhouse gas emissions reductions by 50% by 2030? My response is 50% reduction by 2030. Wow, that's only in 7 years. 7 years might sound like a lot to some people, but really, for people who understand how long some processes take or how much action actually needs to happen to reach these goals, 7 years is not very much. So if elected, I would like to first look at what our municipalities already been working on. What have we been planning to do, and what are some of our roadblocks? What are preventing us from moving forward? When I want to take my next choices of action as a counselor, I would like to make sure we're pushing our municipality to look at create greater action together, to look at solutions differently, and to utilize all of our resources at our fingertips. So some of you guys don't realize how Transform WR was started, or the report was created. So that was by a joint effort between all the municipalities, Sustainable Water the Region, and REAP. They came together over the last several years to co-fund an organization or group called Climate Action Water the Region, which then created the report Transform WR. Climate Action Water the Region last year brought the report Transform WR to all the municipalities and the region. And every single one of them said, yes, we agree with this report. We agree we need to take action. And we agree to be doing the interim goal of 50% reduction of 2030. In that report, they outlined specific areas where our municipality, Wilmot Township, and all the other municipalities should focus on. So if elected, I would like to first understand what areas are we supposed to be focusing on, and where our current roadblocks are. Until we really figure that out, or what actions our township's already been doing, until we start talking about this, we can't necessarily action things forward quicker. One thing I would like to be talking about is we need to create action together. This means that as a rural township, we do not make very much money and compared to Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge, which means we don't have as much staffing. I think it's extremely important for our rural townships to work closer together, to potentially co-hire staff. I know there's been some discussion regarding hiring an environmental staff member, but why has that been stalled? Why is that not moving forward? This is an extremely urgent topic, and we need to ensure that our staff and all the municipalities understand the urgency. I also want to talk about solutions, looking at solutions differently. So many times it's our staff members that come up with reports and actionable solutions. What I would like to see is more emphasis on utilizing resources that are already at our fingertips, such as the Association of Municipalities Ontario, such as the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. There's a peer support group that works on action-oriented steps, such as Climate Caucus. David Zuki has come up with a toolkit. Clean Air Partnerships has come up with a toolkit. All these organizations and more have come up with so many toolkits to help municipalities take stronger climate action. We need to be using them. Don't keep trying to solve our problems the same way that we have in the past. We need to understand there are so many outside organizations and entities that are desperately trying to help municipalities reach their climate goals. And thirdly, utilizing our resources already at our fingertips. These are surface groups and clubs and organizations and people already in our township. They're already trying to push for greater climate action, such as Green WR, Myth Valley Eco Boosters, Wilmot Horticulture Society, 50 by 30, Food Systems Roundtable Water the Region, Citizens for Safe Groundwater, Let's Tree Wilmot. They're already trying to create energy around creating action. And they've been trying to push and prod and pull, policy changes at the municipal level. But it's, as a volunteer myself, I've delegated a lot and felt that I have not been heard. Our municipality needs to work closely with these groups to better understand not only the resources and knowledge that they have, but utilize them in helping to create community-wide change that needs to happen. Change not only has to happen at the municipal level, but this change also needs to happen at the individual level within our community. If our community doesn't understand the processes and doesn't have a buy-in of the changes that our municipality is trying to do, you know what? There's going to be a lot of people fighting that change, and we can't have that. So let's utilize the resources we have at our fingertips to connect greater with the community and help to move ideas quicker across the townships. Now, the second question they asked was about climate justice and environmental justice. And what does that mean to us in a municipality? We can't fully have environmental change and environmental action without first also looking at the justice and climate action, or sorry, social justice aspect of it. Many of the groups that I mentioned before, they do address these in their toolkits. Climate justice in relation to our municipal action, we need to take a hard look at who typically benefits from some of the initiatives and policy changes we're going to be doing and who might be left out. So we need to look at who is already experiencing barriers to equal access and opportunities. We need to look at systemic and systematic discrimination. For example, when we talk about home energy retrofits, encouraging people to buy solar panels and heat pumps, well, only people that can really benefit from that are people that can actually afford to pay those. So only the people that can afford to pay for the heat pump or the solar panels will have the benefit of the energy cost savings in their homes. There are municipalities across Canada that are already recognizing these barriers and moving forward with action in conjunction with federal and provincial governments. We need to look at typically who is invited to speak at our township to create solutions. We need to create a fair process for involvement. What populations in our community are currently being excluded from these processes? I would have to say that there are many. And me as a person who I feel has had the ability and the time to delegate and be involved in these processes, it sometimes I need to take time to reflect who is missing from these conversations. In order to ensure that we create solutions that are just and fair, we also need to first address who is included and who's being excluded from these conversations. Thank you so much. Have a great night.